Okay, so we weren't able to capture it because she was really, it took her about an hour before she actually laid down. As soon as she laid down, I gave her the recall command, and she kind of came out very cautiously and then got the reward and then kind of moved away. So immediately after that, I put some treats in here just the same way we did in the first video, just so or a second video, so she's just used to going back in there and getting them. So on this video, I want to talk about the prescription for success, how we're going to actually apply these techniques. So once the dog starts lying down within about 15 seconds, then we're going to start adding time. Once the dog lays down, we wait about 5 seconds, within 15 seconds, and we wait 5 seconds before we give the recall command. Everyone that lives in the house does that same 5-second iteration. Then we go to 10 seconds, then to 15, and each person does 10 seconds, and each person does 15. Then I go 15, 30, 45 seconds, and go to 1 minute. Go by 1 minute increments up to 15. Once I get 15 minutes, then I usually try to go from 15 to 20. If the dog can't make it, then I might go to 15 to 17. And find the butter zone, but ideally, eventually you can go add 5-minute intervals and go all the way up to 2 hours. Now this is with the door completely open. Now the next stage is you repeat that whole process, but this time once the dog LAYs, we walk over here. Actually, we'll do it here. Well, so if she hesitates, don't push her in. So just throw another treat and another treat. So then I close it like this. And I'm gonna do the whole exercise just with the door closed but not latched. Now we're not doing it now, so she can come and go as she pleases. So the idea is then we're going to work her back up to that 2-hour mark. There we go. So the door is moving and I'm sitting here. So that makes it a little bit harder for her to do. So she won't go in. Try to throw the treats from a little bit more of a distance. And having the door not moving will help. So what we want to do is at the second stage is we're going to close it but not latch it, and then gradually work ourselves up 5 seconds, 10, 15, 45, 30, 45, all the way up to 2 hours. And again, you can maybe go from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. This one, you can usually go a little bit bigger steps because the dog's already done it and is comfortable in the kennel. And again, in between these steps, make sure there's plenty of times where she comes back from a walk and there's a treat in there or a new toy or something like that. So when we get up all the way up to 2 hours, then we reset the exercise. This time we put the dog in and we latch the door. If I can figure out how to latch, there we go. We latch the door. But then we're just sitting right in front of her 5, 10 seconds, go through the same process. When we get up to 15 minutes with the door latched, then we're going to get up and we're going to go out of the dog's line of sight just out of sight for a second, then come back, sit down, wait for the dog to lay down. As soon as it lays down, you're going to open the latch and let the dog out with the come command. And then we're going to walk away eventually for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and gradually work yourself up. Now, you don't have to do it the whole time. You're going to be oscillating. So sometimes you'll be sitting here for 15 minutes and maybe go to maybe 20 minutes. This time you sit here for 15 minutes and you leave for 5 minutes. And you want to gradually increase the amount of time that you're gone out of the dog's line of sight, but you're still in here. Now, usually when you get past up to 2 hours for that, the dog's comfortable, you can actually start leaving. But if the dog protests, and what I would do is, again, set up your computer or a tablet or something that's facing the camera so you can go outside and listen and be monitoring while you're right outside. Don't be monitoring from 5 miles away because the dog freaks out. You want to come in, sit down, don't let the dog out, don't talk to the dog, wait for the dog to settle itself down. When it does, then you go over, open the door, and let it out. Now, one other thing is once you've established this, or let's say that you've already established it and the dog is now comfortable being in the kennel, you can go to work and leave the dog in the kennel, the whole 9 yards. When you come home to let the dog out, if it's a little mini tornado in there, open the door but wedge your feet in here the way I showed you in the first video. Open the door but block. And then gradually walk away. And the dog, I don't allow a dog to exit the kennel unless it's calm. Whether we're doing the exercise or I'm just coming home from running some errands. So the dog has to understand the only way I get freedom is by being completely calm, balanced state of mind. I'll give you a bonus and see how the one fall out. All right, so it takes time. And the key thing for this is we can't have any negative association. So while you're doing this, you do not want to put your dog in here and go for an errand or anything else. I know that we don't want the dog pottying in the bathroom, but if you do have to do a quick errand and you don't want to put her in here, I would put her back in your bathroom, but I would take her out for a walk first and deplete anything that she has in her system to reduce the chances of her having going in your bathroom. But basically, if you do this with enough time, I've gone through, it's probably close to 100 dogs that I've gone through this with, and not one of them now doesn't enjoy their kennel, go in there, hang out there on their own, and their guardians can put them in the kennel, and they're comfortable, they don't have the separation anxiety anymore. All right,